Right, I'm back at this rewire that I did a couple of weeks ago. The client has requested to put some fire detection in their outhouse. So when I rewired the house, I had a dedicated circuit and wired an optical on the hallway and the landing, an optical in the main habitable space, a CO in the bedroom where the boiler was, and a heat in the kitchen. So I wired a dedicated circuit with 5 detectors on it. Obviously, there's no link. There's no hardwired link between the house and here. There is a dedicated power circuit out here, which I ran in, which did a socket, a fuse spur, and a light. So I've cut into the conduit, and I'm going to fit a unswitched fuse connection unit there, and I'm going to fit a multi-sensor alarm here. And then to link it with the house, I'm going to fit 2 SmartLink modules, which, if you're doing a hybrid system, so I spoke to ACO Technical, and if you're doing a hybrid system, which is a mixture of wired and RF connected devices, on page 13, it says if the interconnected system includes a mixture of CO and fire detection, it's important to know that hardwire interconnect line doesn't communicate the alarm type, fire or CO. It doesn't communicate it. It will still trigger it, so it'll still go into alarm mode and still trigger and be set off, but it won't be able to communicate what type of alarm it is. They recommend that if you've got a hybrid system, to stick the SmartLink module in the detector that's got the CO in it, and it will be able to determine what kind of fire has been triggered. In conjunction with obviously using a 450. They also recommend, obviously, if you can't do that, they do recommend that if you're using a hybrid system, you should separate the sections into CO and fire smoke heat. So you should have one line to do all the CO detectors and one line to go and do the smoke, and don't interconnect them so that it can tell what type of fire has been triggered. So I'm obviously going to go for the RF module, which is great, and I'll show you how simple it is to do it. Really love ACO stuff. Now, normally, I almost exclusively prefer hardwired connections. I almost exclusively prefer having stuff hardwired. You can't go wrong with it. There's no messing around. But the RF module is a good little, solution to a problem that we all face. But we spoke about this when I did this rewire. It was spoken about, but the client then, we didn't go ahead with it. But now they'd like it, so that's why I'm coming back to just fit this little extra in. So the SmartLink module, it is really good, but obviously it is a bit pricey. But it's a clever bit of kit. You simply push the aerial in, and it goes down through the detector. Goes in like that. And it simply presses into there, like that. I'm going to slide it in, and then we will put the other one in. Where am I? That way around. And then we do have to house code this, so they link together, and then we'll test it. I have bought the 450, the alarm controller that we can use to test it as well. I'm just going to connect up the fuse connection unit, reconnect into the socket circuit, liven it all up, and then I'll go into the detector in the bedroom, in the CO one, and pop the SmartLink module in that one, and then we'll get it all tested up with using the radio link controller. Right, here's the CO carbon monoxide alarm. Let's take it down, and then get our SmartLink module like before. So like I said before, it's recommended if you've got a hybrid system to stick the RF connection in this CO detector so it can communicate the alarm type. Put that in there. Like that. We'll pop it back up. So I'm going to house code it So I'm going to press the house code button on the side. It should start flashing blue, and then we'll go and press the one in the outhouse, and they should be linked. There it goes, flashing blue. Press this one in. There we go. So, and it's flashing one blue light, which means there's one connection or something. There's one RF link. Yeah, one blue and flashing light. Cool, connected. So can you see that blue flashing light there? So if there's more than one RF connection, it will flash however many RF connections you've got. So if you've got 2, 3, 4, it'll go flash, 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 flash. If you've got 4 RF connections, so I've got one link, one blue flash. So now I've got the 450. Turn it on. Should do a little power up sequence. And then we're going to code this to the 2 modules that I've just put in. One in this one and one down in the outhouse. So we're going to coding mode. Blue flash in. And we'll code them. And then we're going to do the outhouse as well. There you go. So now if you look, it's now flashing 3 blue lights. Can you see that around there? Give it a second. 1, 2, 3. Outbuilding, CO in the bedroom, and the remote controller switch. You can see the controller is flashing 2 blue lights. 1, 2. That tells you that there's 2 devices, 2 RF devices connected to the controller. So that's the CO in the bedroom and the multi-sensor in the outhouse. So take it out of house code mode by just pressing the button. All the lights should flash blue. And so it's now all connected. Right, just going to test the RF module that it triggers the detector in the outhouse. So when I press this, it should. Can you hear that? So the outhouse is triggered. Now I'm going to check them all. So I'm going to press and hold this for, I can't remember, 10 seconds or something, or 3 seconds, and then all the detectors will trigger for 10 seconds. So I'll run around and make sure it's all going off. 2, 3. Oh, they're all going off. I can hear that one. Yep. So now, with the controller, this is a mains interlinked CO detector along the whole circuit of hardwired smokes, right? So ordinarily, if that was triggered, it would just send a signal around all the system and go into alarm mode. But now, because that's got the RF module in it, and that the RF interconnection between this one and the outhouse, which is now just a multi-sensor now. If this is triggered, this will come up with the CO alarm, so you'll know instantly that it's the CO one that's been triggered. There's 3 lights on here that come up when it's fire and CO and something else, I think. So yeah, so now this will work even better with this controller.